Hi guys, I'm back again with yet another important video, and please allow me to welcome you back to my channel. And as I usually say, guys, thank you if you have subscribed, and then if you haven't, please just do me a favor, pause this video and go and subscribe. So for now, I'll be talking about one of the most important aspects into trading, right? Which is the importance of backtesting. Okay, so most of the times I think we should spend more time backtesting and trying to see the validity of the strategies that we are trading, because another important element is that, so I will actually get into it when I get to the first point, but backtesting is really that much important to at least give you confidence in your strategy and also to understand the ins and outs of the instruments that you are trading and also how they react to certain type of market conditions, news events, and everything else, so that you can keep using that data and evidence to actually kill the markets. Okay, so the first thing that you're gonna go to as to why, because I will be more like talking about the principles of backtesting and also why it is that much important. So going into the first reason why you would backtest is to test out what you have seen. So let me first clarify. Let me explain what is this thing backtesting, or where is it derived from. So guys, when you backtest, you don't just go into the markets and backtest just because someone else is saying you should backtest, or I am saying that you should backtest. So my understanding of why you would backtest is because when you are learning, right, you see things, like, which is, you notice things. For example, I did talk about in my previous videos about the thing of correlations. I was never taught correlations, but I could observe that no, man, there is something that is called correlations, because I noticed that when certain pairs buy, then the other ones do the opposite of that. So, which is, I usually talk about Euro USD and USD Swiss francs, because that is where I saw everything else from. And then, as usual, guys, when we're starting out, we always advise to start with the major pairs. So, having done everything alone, I started with the major pairs, and then that's when I started seeing things, right? And also the bullish engulfing, how they behave. So, it's like you first observe something, right? And then you go in there to trading view to test out what you have seen, right? So that is what this thing called backtesting is. Because some people who are negative about this whole trading thing, they often ask, where these trading strategies come from? Where does certain thing, how do you know that's gonna buy and everything like that? You test those things. It's a result of some of things that you noticed playing out in the market consistently, right? And then to confirm that they are indeed true, or what you see is really true and relevant, that is when you go back to test how many times did this occur? What does Euro USD why does Euro USD always react a certain way during the London session or during the New York session? So that is why you would back test. And then when you finally understand that a certain things happens consistently, that's when you get to take advantage of it. Okay, so that is actually the reason why you would backtest, is based off it. So it's not only limited to something that you may have seen playing out yourself. It may be something that you are learning from whatever course that you are buying. So when you're putting that extra minutes and time to actually go and test the things that you're being taught, that is when you go back to actually go and back test what you have been taught, so that you can at least have some confidence and and knowledge as to on what you are doing, right? So, and also highlighting or noting that the market conditions change, which I will get to the second point now, which is how do you go on about back testing if the market conditions change, right? But as I've already said, that the first reason why you would back test is to test out what you've been taught or what you have observed in the market yourself. So that is the first principle of backtesting. So moving on now to the second principle of backtesting is to maintain. So what is to maintain? So as I said, that the market conditions change, right? So just because US 30 was more compatible with the breakout and retest strategy in the past 4 years, but you start noticing that it no longer does play out, okay? That is when you also go back to check the relevance of your strategy. If does it still comply with the current market conditions, or things may have changed? So that is how you maintain. Or if you have strategies, right, and they are still working out, so just because you want to test out your skills, like their relevance, their credibility, and everything like that, if they still apply to the current market conditions, that is when you go back to actually go and test that strategy, those strategies out. And also another thing, guys, that you may not know, strategies come from what you see in the market, right? So the reason why you would develop another strategy, or the only way to see if that strategy is going to be a success or it is indeed working, is by going back and testing. Okay, let's leave out the word back testing, but it's testing in other words. But it's called back testing because we actually go back in time and in price so that you can actually understand what is going on. And then forward testing is you watching the market live and then trying to predict and all of that, right, with a demo or something like that. But backtesting is the one that's more encouraged, so that is how you maintain, which is you have, let's say, maybe one or two strategies, so you can just go back in time. Let's say maybe you had strategies like you've been using for the past 2 years. So you just want to go back now. We are approaching the year end. So you can just decide that I'm not going to trade. And then I'm just going to see based off this year and the market data, or the way the market has been moving this year, are my strategies still relevant? Maybe. All right. So that's the second principle of backtesting, or why you should backtest, is to maintain, to test out the relevance, the credibility of your current strategies. So the reason why you would backtest is to build up, or to advance, or to create new strategies. Meaning that to advance, meaning that if you were trading, say, maybe support and resistance, but you want to add a few elements like a Fibonacci, certain types of candlesticks that you may have learned about, or even indicators for those that do use indicators. So it's more like you're adding something. So in order to see whether that something will work, that is when you actually go back in time, so that you can check if it is really or indeed relevant to what you're trying to create. So advancing is more like you're trying to create more and more strategies now in order to keep up with the market. Because, for example, guys, times change. There are new trends in fashion and everything like that. So we have to keep up as people. So that's the same thing with Forex. So if you're a trader, if you still have strategies, or you want to add a little bit more, that is how you advance or evolve with the market conditions. So that's the end of the video, guys. I hope everything that I said here made sense. I just wanted to clarify to people, what is this backtesting thing? And then maybe as we go forward, I can actually show you on the actual chart as to how you can go on about that process. Otherwise, for me, that is what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope it helps someone. And as usual, guys, if you liked and enjoyed this video, please just do me a favor, pause it now, go like and subscribe. I will most definitely see you on the next video.